Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's time.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are aware, but Epic was missing last night from Monday Night Raw. I don't know where Epic went. He probably made the wrong turn. He probably, more than likely, said, I'm not going to be there. Epic probably, had a couple drinks at the bar, right? And ignored the time. That's probably what happened. But Epic was nowhere to be seen on Monday Night Raw last night. Have you seen him? If you have seen him, please ask Epic, where have they been? But ladies and gentlemen, this is another edition of the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. We're also live over on Twitch, and we're also live over on Kick. This is December the 2nd, 2025, and this is your Raw recap for the December the 1st edition, 2025 of Monday Night Raw. Man, it is finally December. Holy shit. It is finally fucking December. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Here I am wondering, where the fuck did the year has gone? Like, to think, right? Like, it was just 2025. It was just January. And now here we are. It's finally December. It's beginning to look a lot like that expensive time of the year again. It really, really does, huh? But be that as it may, I know for a lot of you out there, it's that time to spend with your family, your loved ones, and, all that stuff, right? However it is that you celebrate the holidays. But I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope all of you ate as much as you could. I hope all of you stuffed yourself with turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, tomatoes, yams, and stuff like that. But what's going on, everyone? Let me get myself here. Let me remove the graphic here. What's up, everyone? It's me. It's Steve. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? Hey, that's me. I'm in the new house. How we liking it so far? How we liking the new place? Now, if you did catch the post show to Survivor Series, make sure you go give that a watch, where we basically crapped on the show. Go give that a watch. But here I am in the new house, right? I even got the fucking mic stand here. I'm not doing the Dave Meltzer. Well, you know what? Actually, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I got the mic stand here. It's in a drawer. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't want to lie. It's in a fucking drawer because it's too fucking high. But not that it matters. Like I mentioned before, it is December the 2nd, 2025. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm going to try to get this out of the way quick because I do want to watch Stranger Things. And, I know the new season came out on Thursday, or was it Friday? It was Friday, I believe it was. I didn't get to watch it yet. I know they're doing it in parts. Why? I have no fucking clue. If it was up to me, it would be all in one season. But that's how they want to milk it, right? They fucking want to milk it in parts. So you got to watch the first part, during the weekend of Thanksgiving. The part 2 will be for Christmas time. And then I think the last part of it will be on New Year's. It's so fucking ridiculous. But it is what it is. Christmas, indeed, it's in 23 days, Chris Leclerc. It is indeed in 23 days. But if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share with all your friends on social media, wherever it is that you share your wrestling content with. And if you guys want to feel generous, being that it's the holiday season, show some love in the super chat. It is enabled after all. I see you guys. I see all of you go on other shows, go on other content creators' channels. Y'all donate away. Send the love. Send the money. But for me over here, for the pals over here, it's like, yeah, bro, eat dick, huh? Eat dick. That's what it is. Come on, y'all. Come on. I know y'all, look, I know it's the holiday season. I know a lot of you guys who do have jobs are putting in that overtime at work like I did today. Holy crap. I'm just happy Liv Morgan is back. Yeah, a lot of people are happy that Liv is back. It's cool to see her back. Look, I just need to know once again, have you guys seen Epic? I am looking for Epic. He was supposed to be there last night. Triple H promised Raw last night was going to be epic. And look, I know for a lot of people out there, you know, you got the Bron Breakker Pipebomb promo, which I thought was chef's kiss. I know you guys got that great match that turned out to be great between Solo Sikoa and Gunther. That's awesome. And yeah, Jey Uso losing to LA Knight, which, let's be honest, that was not in my plans, but hey, it is what it is. But all that happened, and that still doesn't make the show epic. Doesn't cut it. Thought the show was all right, but it wasn't epic. It's not a show that I'm going to go back years from now and go, man, did you guys remember the December 2nd edition of Monday Night Raw from 2025? I mean, maybe the Bron Breakker promo. Here's what we do know. We do know that Bron Breakker, as a result of pinning CM Punk in the War Games, he will now get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship on January the 5th, 2026. Monday Night Raw. I believe it will be emanating from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And I'll be honest. I'll be very honest. WWE. And they probably won't do it because it's WWE. Go for it. Do it. Do it. I dare you. No, I double dog. No. I triple dog dare you. Do it. Give Bron Breakker the fucking title. You really want to kick off the year with a holy shit moment? Give the belt to Bron Breakker. Let Bron Breakker have a moment with the title. Now, granted, there's a big possibility that Seth Rollins might get involved, right? We still don't know who the masked person is. No, the same masked person who jumped over the cage, you know, who jumped into the War Games and laid out CM Punk. We don't know who that is. They did not reveal who that was, right? They did not do that. We're still waiting on who that is, right? But be that as it may, look, guys, let's get this out of the way. All right, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Raw was live last night from the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Per cage match, this show got a 7.54 out of 10. Now let's remember, Survivor Series was a shit show this past Saturday, right? It was a shit show. If you have not checked out yet, go check out the post show that we did. Myself, it was Romeo, it was Chase, Walter, C. Peasy. We have Frankie Kazarian at one point or another. We had Tony and Paul going back and forth as well. So if you've not checked that out, go give it a watch. Again, we talked about everything that happened at Survivor Series and how much of a shit show it really was. So going into Raw, you wonder, how will they bounce back, right? And again, I didn't hate the show. Let me be clear. I didn't hate the show. But when you tell me it's gonna be epic, buddy, I expect fireworks. I expect epic. And 3 good things on the show just doesn't cut it for me. For me, at least. Now, look, for a lot of you out there, you might have thought this show was the bee's knees. It was chef's kiss on a plate, right? And that's fine if you do. If you feel that way, awesome. Good for you. I love that for you. But for me, it was all right, to be honest. Let's get into this. Again, this was the post Survivor Series show. Chime in with your thoughts in the chat or let me know on social media. What did you like? What did you not like from the show and all that stuff? TK has done the same thing before, promising a big show and under delivering. I don't know why they gotta say anything if they're not going to deliver. Under promise, over deliver is the rule of business. I agree 100%. I think Raw was fine, but not good. Yeah, it's in the middle. It just wasn't epic like Triple H promised. So the show kicked off with 1 second here. There we go. The show kicked off with Rio. Rio, that's what they're calling themselves. It's Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. They appeared in the ring for a promo to celebrate the fact that their team won the War Games. Their team won the War Games, so they're celebrating this, right? They're celebrating, and they declare that they're going for the women's tag team title. By the way, C Money, the way they're spelling Rio here is Rhiyo. Just so we're clear here. Just so I know it sounds a little cheesy, like what the fuck, like Rio? No, they're calling it Rio, but if you know, you know. Okay. But yeah, they show up, they declare themselves as the next challengers for the tag titles, right? And out of nowhere, the allies of convenience, that being Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, is that really what they're calling themselves? Hold up, are they really calling themselves the allies of convenience? If they are, that has to be a head-scratching name, the allies of convenience. And they said basically that they wanted a rematch for the belts before that happened. So, like, they're acknowledging, look, you guys are deserving of a shot at the titles, right? AOC, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, C Money. AOC. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. But, look, they're saying, like, look, y'all two deserve it. No problem. But we want our shots first because they never got their rematch. They are the former tag team champions, right? And the two teams agreed to a tag team match tonight. And for a lot of people, you know, you go into that, you're like, okay, this should be fun. On Saturday, they were teammates. Now they're going to go up against each other. And let's see what happens, right? And remember, Charlotte Flair still might feel the same way about Rhea Ripley, that she still can't trust her. She called her a snake, right? Even though they were teaming up, everything was cool, hunky-dory on Saturday, right? But be that as it may, I thought this opening segment was okay for the most part. Like, look, we got a match out of this. You see, again, two women wanting a shot at the tag titles. You have the former champions who didn't get the rematch. So let's settle this in the ring. Let's get a match out of this, and the winner of this will get a shot at the titles, even though they didn't acknowledge any of that. But that's just what it felt like, right? From this, we see backstage Ivy Nile, who met up with Adam Pearce and demanding a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Pearce booked the match. After that, Paul and Bron Breakker, that being Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker, met up with Adam Pearce. And Heyman said that he had no idea who was under the mask before saying that they needed to talk about Bron Breakker pinning CM Punk. And I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned that early in this video, in the stream, that on January 5th, it will be CM Punk and Bron Breakker. And yes, rest in peace to CM Punk and AJ Lee's dog, Larry. Rest in peace, Larry. Now, I've always said this, a pet is part of the family. Doesn't matter if you have a dog, you have a cat, you have a hamster, a goldfish. It's part of the family. It gives you have a connection, right? You can have look, you can have an annoying day at work or at school, whatever it may be, right? You come home, that little furry little animal can bring a smile to your face, can bring you so much joy, and again, my thoughts are with AJ and CM Punk. I know Punk posted a post on his Instagram. I know a lot of the wrestlers posted on their stories and stuff like that. And again, losing a pet is like losing a part of the family. And it's very, very difficult. And again, my thoughts are with CM Punk and AJ Lee at this moment in time. Now, look, Ivy Nile demanding a shot at the titles. I'm good. What have you done to get a shot? Like, where have you been? That's what I want to know. What has she done to get herself a shot at the title? Like, I really need to know this. It's ridiculous. But be that as it may, I mentioned already before, it will be Bron Breakker and CM Punk, January 5th. From there, we go on to the semifinal match of the Last Time Is Now tournament. It is LA Knight and Jey Uso. And I'll be honest, I thought this match would have gone on later on in the night. But being that it happened literally in the first hour of the show, I kind of made you think, okay, maybe, just maybe, they're not going to go with Jey. Let's be honest. How many of you going into this match were like, you know what? We're going to see Jey Uso and Gunther once again. Oh, my God. And I think a lot of people had that thought. I just think WWE outsmarted everyone here. Like, yeah, y'all thought y'all were getting this, but instead we're going to go this direction. And for the most part, I thought the match for what it was, I thought it was okay. Your typical TV match. I felt like they've had better matches before for the most part. The match went about almost 10 minutes, right? And again, you thought going into this Jey Uso was going to win, but instead LA Knight gets the win. He basically takes advantage and rolls up CM Punk, right? And gets the 1, 2, 3, right? So LA Knight advances to the finals. And good for LA. And look, in all seriousness, good for LA Knight. LA Knight is someone who, in the eyes of a lot of people, deserves way much more, right? For a lot of people, he should be the one to face Cena in the finals. He should have gotten a world title run, right? Coming out of the Clash in Paris show, right? I think people need to chill. Yes, I do think LA Knight deserves better, but to think that he should be given the title match, let's pump the brakes. That being said, good on LA Knight. He got the win. And after the match, Jey Uso went on this shock mode. Like, you see him out of the ring. He had this look on his face. He looks defeated. He looks like he just can't believe what just fucking happened. He just lost to LA Knight. And you see him out of nowhere just lose it. He destroys the whole prime set that they have at a ringside, right? He takes it down. He starts throwing the steel steps and shit. He literally loses it. He's frustrated, right? He's pissed off, right? That he lost. And we see later on in the night that Jey Uso was being interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and he's saying that he needs to look at the man. Take a look in the mirror, at the man in the mirror, talking about how maybe Roman is right. the world title looked better on his shoulders and not Jay's, right? He's starting to doubt himself, right? Could this mean that, hey, this could mean a heel turn for Jey Uso? Could think about this, right? 2025 for Jey Uso has been a high and then a low. The high was he won the Royal Rumble, he won the world title at WrestleMania, right? People were yeeting every single time. Like, bro, the yeets, if you look at it, right, from 2000 and dare I say, to that Paris show. Granted, it's Paris, so of course the international crowd will receive it differently than the U.S. crowd. But if you look at those yeets in the beginning of the year, up until now, it's night and day. That shine has gone away, right? Perfect example, like people look at people who were yeeting at WrestleMania when he was coming out to the ring compared to SummerSlam. Now, mind you, I was at both shows. And I can tell you that the yeets at SummerSlam did not feel the same. But basically, the high was he won the Royal Rumble. He eliminates John Cena, right? The guy who's on his retirement tour, right? He then goes on to beat Gunther, right? And at the time, people were doubting, should he be the guy? Is he really ready for this spot, right? A lot of people thought he wasn't ready. A lot of people thought, oh, he shouldn't be in this spot. And at the end of the day, WWE took a chance. Now, did it pay off? That's for you to decide. And out of all this, right, he wins the title, he beats Gunther, goes on this run, and then the low happens. He loses the title. He starts, getting himself involved with his brother, right, with Jimmy Uso and the whole, bloodline thing again. He starts losing matches, starts feuding with LA Knight, started to not trust people and shit. So now we're in the spot where it's like, damn, bro, you have fallen. You got to find yourself and pick yourself back up again and take a look at the man in the mirror. That's what it's become for Jey Uso, right? So then after all this, let's get back to the program here. We saw Bayley and Lyra, who met up with Adam Pearce. However, and it looked like maybe they were trying to get themselves a women's tag team title match as well. And they were interrupted by the Kabuki Warriors. And Asuka blamed Bayley for their loss at War Games. She said she was nothing and Asuka was a champion and stuff like that. I just think it's silly that we're going to put the blame on someone who wasn't even in the match. And I think that was kind of ridiculous. At the same time, can we be honest? The disrespect towards Bayley is sad. It is so disappointing to see. Like, bruh, here's someone who is talented, right? Who deserves way much better than what the fuck they're giving her right now in WWE. So please, WWE, in 2026, let's restore Bayley. Let's stop fucking around. Okay? Let's stop fucking around. Okay? From there, we see the Judgment Day of Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and JD McDonough, right? With Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was welcomed in, right, by Dominic Mysterio, who was celebrating the fact that he regained the Intercontinental Championship. And obviously, Liv Morgan's return. And then Morgan declared they were coming for everything. They want everything, all the gold. They want the Judgment Day to be what they used to be, right? All champions, right? And that the Judgment Day runs Raw. And then, for whatever reason, Liv Morgan proceeds to slap Dominic Mysterio and then hugs him. Something tells me Dominic Mysterio is one of those guys, bruh, who, likes a rough, respectfully. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know plenty of dudes who like to get slapped around and all that other stuff. To each their own. Book Bayley better, I agree. Get her away from Bird Lady. Yes, get her away from the chick who wear the Becky foot stompers or whatever the fuck you call it. Bailey deserves fucking better. Dom's a simp for Liv, but can you blame him? No, I don't blame him. Look, there's some guys out there who like to get slapped around by their lady. I know a couple of dudes out there who love a woman when they're in the moment, right? To slap them around, back of the head, yell at them. There's some guys who are into that. And to each their own. To each their fucking own. Okay? But we're at this point of the show, and I'm like, again, where is Epic? Epic is nowhere to be seen. Where the fuck is Epic at this point of the show? I need to know. From that point, we saw Natty Neidhart training Maxine Dupree in this vignette where she's putting Maxine Dupree through the ringer, like literally having her go through all these obstacles, all these brutal training, right? And I thought it was great. I loved it. I love the fact that we're seeing, for the time being, because I know we might not see this on the main roster, but I hope we do, we see Natalya Neidhart that we see at Bloodsport in GCW whenever she participates in the Bloodsport events. I hope we see the Natalya that we saw in AAA a couple of months ago. We see that version of Natalya Neidhart. I think Natalya Neidhart, Natty, whatever you want to call her, legend. No one's taking that away from her. But the way she was presented in the last couple of years on TV, compared to what we see when she's not on WWE programming, like in AAA, at Bloodsport, at NWA, we need that Natty, that Natalya on television. I think that version of Natalya in this women's division, bruh, who's going to stop her? Who's going to stop her, right? But at one moment, I'm like, yo, are they going to give Natalya's gimmick outside of WWE to Maxine Dupree? I hope not. But I think this is cool. Like, Maxine Dupree, right? She's putting in the work in the training, whatever it takes to remain champion, right? See money here, right? It's good to build Maxine's character as a wrestler because nobody thinks she can wrestle. Absolutely. No one thinks she can wrestle. It's up to now for Maxine Dupree to prove everyone wrong. Can she do it? I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven that, she can do it. But right now, I'm just not convinced. I'm not, right? But we'll see. Time will tell. Who knows? Maybe she ends up like Taryn Terrell. Now, you're probably wondering, who the fuck is Taryn Terrell? If you guys watched TNA back in like 2013, you know what's up. Taryn Terrell was the former Tiffany in WWE. I think at one point she was the general manager of NXT or SmackDown. But the thing was, she was just brought in as a GM and she got let go, right? And then she goes to TNA and she was just a referee. But as time went on, she started wrestling. And granted, she started off as this green wrestler in a roster that was known to have a good women's division. And as time went on, she went on and became this good wrestler, right? That match she had with Gail Kim, I believe it was Slammiversary 2013, where she did the bulldog off the stage. Like, again, who is to say that Maxine Dupree doesn't become the next Taryn Terrell? Well, time will tell. Time will fucking tell. From there, we see Adam Pearce asking around, especially to Eddie Orengo, to keep an eye on the Vision discreetly. Because in his mind, in Pierce's eyes, the masked man is involved with the Vision. It's Seth Rollins, even though it hasn't been said, but whatever. From there, we see the World Tag Team Championship match, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And this match went about, again, another under 10-minute match. It was okay for the most part. The good back and forth. It ends up with AJ catching, I believe, one of the members of the New Day. I believe it was Kofi. He catches Kofi and hits him with the Styles Clash off the top rope, right? And I know for a lot of people, it's this amazing spot ever. It's cool, but I think the one that he did to Ricochet in the Thunderdome era of WWE was a little better, in my humble opinion. Okay. But that being said, AJ and Dragon Lee are still the tag team champions. We find out later on in the night that they still want to defend their tag team titles next week. And they offer, hey, let's face the War Raiders, who were never given a rematch. So you mean to tell me they lost their titles at WrestleMania and they were never given a rematch? That is crazy when you think about it. Between you and me, the camera guy, and the millions watching at home, let's keep this quiet. Pretty much. But that's happening next week. It will be AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the War Raiders for the tag titles. So they're going to continue on being these fighting champions. From there, we saw the Division, and it's everyone. It's Paul Heyman. It's Big Bronson Reed. It's Braun Breaker. It's Logan Paul, and Paul Heyman is shouting out Brock Lesnar. He's shouting out Drew McIntyre. He's shouting out all the members of the Division. And then Braun Breaker cut the promo of his life. Cut the promo of his life. His version of the Pipe Bomb. And I agree, C-Money. Ivar is awesome. 100%. But he cut, that being Braun Breaker, the promo of his life. He went off on CM Punk, referencing him and Seth Rollins being an egotistical, being an egomaniac, right? Also referencing the fact that Rollins needs to accept that his wife is a bigger star than him, right? They reference the fact that on January 5th, it will be CM Punk and Braun Breaker, and that he says that CM Punk on January 5th will be looking flat on his back at the lights as Braun Breaker's holding up the world title. And he talks about, how last year WrestleMania, CM Punk went up to Braun Breaker and say, "Hey, good job, kid, but can you hang in a promo with the top dogs?" And there it was. I said this at the beginning of the show. On January 5th, WWE, I dare you. No, I double dog. No. I triple dog dare you. Do it. Give Braun Breaker the title. It's now or never. It's now or never. You want to shock people? You want to kick off the year with a wow? Have Braun Breaker beat CM Punk. I know there's some people who feel that, you know what? That should be at WrestleMania. I get that. But I think at this point, it's now or never. At this point, it's now or never. And I agree, Braun Breaker was cooking like his uncle, Big Papa Punk. Again, I get it. WrestleMania should be the time. But honestly, at this point, it's sink or swim. Sink or swim. To be honest, the way things are going, I know there's been this whole discussion going around that, it's going to be Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. Let me just say this. I'm good on that. I don't need to see that. Look, their first match was good up until that finish, right? In the eyes of a lot of people. Right? That ruined it all. Cody should have won. WrestleMania 40 was a good match with all the run-ins and overbook and the Avengers assemble, right? But the right outcome happened. Cody got his win. And to be honest, Roman Reigns, at this stage of the game, after holding that title for over 1,000-something days, he does not need the world title. Doesn't need it. If it's up to me, this is just me, of course, I would do Roman Reigns versus CM Punk because there's a story there. All the way to 2014 when CM Punk did that podcast with Colt Cabana. There's a story there, right? You remember when Roman was getting that hate and when he was the big dog, remember? Punk started the whole thing. There's a story there, in my opinion. But again, I don't need to see Cody and Roman again. I am good on that. I know, again, people are saying, oh, Punk and Bron Breakker. Honestly, the way things are going right now, something tells me we might get Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Low-key wishing the Masked Man was Colt Cabana. Oh, come on. That's breaching a contract. Come on, man. That's breaching contract C-money. What are we doing? You know? But that's just me. I don't know how y'all feel about that. But look, you can do Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins for the world title at WrestleMania. You can. And have Braun win, remain champion. I have no issue with that. But time will tell if they go through with that. But again, I thought the promo was great. I look forward to seeing the first Raw of the new year. That's going to be must-see at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. And we'll see what happens. But I am definitely cheering for Bron Breakker on this one. From there, we see, like I mentioned before, Jey Uso was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, where he did say he needed to look to the mirror and all that stuff. So I mentioned that earlier. We had the second Last Time Is Now tournament semifinal match, Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. And I'll be honest, going into this, I know Penta got hurt last week, and people were under this impression that it was going to be Penta versus Gunther. And that didn't happen, now did it? And there were reports that, the original winner was supposed to be Solo Sikoa, right? And we get the match. Two heels going at it, right? This is something out of the fucking G1, right? Where there's some time where two bad people go at it, right? Just like in the Continental Classic, I think if it's not this week or next week, you're going to see Claudio Castagnoli versus Jon Moxley. Two guys who are members of the Death Riders, right? The point is, going into this, you're like, okay, how are they going to make this work? And dare I even say, Gunther does it again. Gunther literally gave Solo Sikoa his best match of his career. Hands down. Hands fucking down. Gunther gave Solo Sikoa his best match of his career. Hands down. I agree. Solo looked like $1 million. I hope that wasn't just because he was in there. Yeah, that's what it was. He wrestled Gunther. Gunther made Solo Sikoa look like $1 million. Like, look, this tournament, let's be honest, is a shit show. Okay? However, one of the bright things on this tournament is Gunther having these killer matches. He had a good match with Javon Evans. He had, a somewhat, I'm not saying it was the best thing on this, but he had a good match with Carmelo Hayes. And now here he is going back and forth with Solo Sikoa. Yeah, Tala Tonga at ringside, right? There's a moment in the match where Solo goes and exposes the top turnbuckle, right? And the referee trying to put it back in. trying to, reassemble the turnbuckle and shit. And Gunther gets thrown out of the ring or something like that. Or Tala Tonga gets on the apron. And Gunther goes after him. Tala Tonga hits him. I'm sorry. I'll just call him Hikuleo. That's how I know him as Hikuleo. Right? But I'm going to try my best to call him Tala Tonga. Hit him with the big boot. He called for Solo to get out of the ring so they can attack him. Just when Gunther was going to get Samoan spiked by Solo, who, by the way, Gunther was working on that thumb the entire match as well, right? Because that is the strength of Solo Sikoa, that Samoan spike. The referee's like, "Do you think I'm stupid?" This and whatnot. Some of these bad officiating, man. Like just like even at Survivor Series, man. When Dominic Mysterio had the match won and the referee didn't want to pin it, like it was so fucking dumb. The point is though, right? There's moments here. It's like, yo, man, you thought, hey, Solo might have won this, and then eventually Gunther low blows Tala Tonga, gets back into the ring, low blows Solo Sikoa, hits him with the powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, and Gunther goes on to the final. And again, there's a lot of you going into this. Let's be honest. There's a lot of you who last week thought, oh, the finals was going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther. No, instead, it's going down this Friday. That's right. The finals is going down this Friday. It will be LA Knight versus Gunther in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. It's going down this Friday on SmackDown. Why? Because the weekend after is Saturday night's main event. So all you really have is that Monday Night Raw to really push this show, plug this show, all right, and promote that main event. And look, I know there's a lot of people who feel like, look, to me, no matter who wins between Gunther and LA Knight, I'll be honest, I would prefer, and I know he probably wouldn't feel this way because that's just how he is. He's that much of a professional and he wants to give back. But I would prefer to see John Cena win in his last match. I would love to see the man go out on a win instead of just losing and then having his moment, getting on the microphone, thanking everybody, this and that. I want to see him win in his final match. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Because let's be honest here. We all know it's going to be Gunther. Gunther losing to Cena, it doesn't hurt him. He's going to be fine. Remember, Gunther lost to Jey Uso. Gunther tapped out to Jey Uso. So losing to Cena is not going to kill anything, in my opinion. Okay? And I agree. Should be a great match. I know they had a great match a couple of years ago at Stand and Deliver when they were both in NXT. So I do think years later they're going to go out there and tear it up, right? So from there we go to the main event. We get the main event. We have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the AOC, the Alliance of Convenience of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And everything was going good. There was a lot of back and forth. There were moments there where you kind of thought one team had the win over the other. And then out of nowhere, the Kabuki Warriors ran in to throw the match. It went to a no contest. And then after this, Bayley and Lyra got involved. They tried to attack the Kabuki Warriors. But then the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan, of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez got involved, and they laid out everyone to end the broadcast. And you see Liv Morgan, who originally was handed one of the tag titles by Roxanne Perez. Remember, y'all must forgot, Liv Morgan, before she got hurt, was one half of the women's tag team champion. But then she got hurt. So then Roxanne Perez filled in while she was gone. So this was Roxanne handing her back the belt, right? And Liv was like, no, you hold on to it. Because if you guys remember, early in the night, Liv Morgan confronted Stephanie Booker. So it looks like Liv Morgan has a bigger fish to fry in Stephanie McCur. And that match probably will go down most likely probably on that January 5th show, if I'm to be a betting man. Okay. But be that as it may, the Judgment Day, they live again, all that stuff. And that's how they close the show. Again, good promo by Bron Breakker. A very good one-on-one match between Solo Sikoa and Gunther. Right? That was good. I enjoyed the little vignette of Maxime Dupree with the training under Natalia. Right? But those things, again, still doesn't make the show epic. We were promised epic. Again, I'm asking y'all, have you guys seen epic? He's already hit the milk cartons, as you can see in this picture. He's already on the milk cartons. You'll see these cartons of milk at your local supermarket real soon. He's missing. If you find him, please ask him where he's been. Because he was sure as hell missing last night. And that was the post-Survivor Series episode of Monday Night Raw. Overall, I thought the show was all right. But again, but when you promise people epic, and this is what you give them, coming out of a PLE that shat the bed, you get what you get. Okay? You get what you get. Let me know your thoughts in the chat or in the comment threads. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but to label it epic kind of buries the product as you're illustrating. Correct. Again, I'm not trying to come on like, man, this show was bad. No. But when you say epic on social media, and this is what you give them, it's like, damn, bro. It's like, imagine going to an Italian restaurant, right? You and your lady, right? You order the bottles of wine, right? And you find out that the wine bottle, they're not even that, like the restaurant will overcharge you for the bottles of wine, right? Because they're telling you, oh, it's from this vineyard in Italy or somewhere in the mountains of California, right? But instead, they got it from up the block at the liquor store for like $12 and shit. And they're charging you, I don't know, $80 or let me see here. Oh, shit. You mean to tell me this whole fucking time I'm doing the show with the wrong mic, I'm in the mud? Did y'all hear me, though? Did you guys hear me, though? Let me know in the chat. Were y'all able to hear me, though, this entire time? Were y'all able to hear me? I think I fixed the microphone. Let me just, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it back. Look, it is what it is, okay? I apologize for the bad microphone quality. We'll run it back here real quick. Let me just play it back here real quick. I'm not doing this all over again, okay? I'm not. We're not running this back. We'll run it back. Honestly. You guys were members of the Death Rockers, right? Point is doing it. The fact that I can still hear myself, yeah, it's a little echoey. I apologize. It is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm with the bright microphone. I know. Look, it happens, okay? My apologies. Hey, Steve. Damn, Chief, if you were on the whole time, how come no one said anything? Guys, I love you guys. Look, I love all of y'all. But if you guys hear something, just say, hey, man, your microphone is a little choppy or some shit. I would appreciate that. Things happen. We all make mistakes. It is what it is. Just next time, guys, if you guys hear something off with the audio, please say something. Please. All right. Can we do that? Okay. But yeah, look, guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's okay. It's okay. I didn't even notice. It's fine, brother. But yeah, so I kind of explained this, like, I think on the post show. This is the mic I normally do my shows, right? Recently, I've been using this mic because the desk that I have right now doesn't have anything where I can clamp my boom arm. So I had to buy a microphone stand for this microphone. I had to buy one. So it's still plugged into this. It is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. But where was I? Where was I here? With the new house, bro. Look, I'm Gucci, bro. I'm Gucci. The new house is great, bro. The one thing though, because I live close to the shore, it does get cold as shit in the morning. Like here in Jersey today, they announced a state of emergency. I have no idea why, but they announced a state of emergency today for whatever reason. And it just rained. They're like, oh, what's rain and snow today? I'm like, bruh, it's just gonna snow. This is gonna rain. And that's what had happened. Right. Um, so that being said, like, look, it's cool. Like, I'm in a home. I'm no longer in an apartment. Uh, yeah, I will. Like, that's what people have been telling me. Like, one of the neighbors who, and the other thing too, like my neighbors here, they don't like, they don't come out. You know what I mean? They'll come out periodically to walk their dogs and shit like that. Um, one of the neighbors came up to me, oh, welcome to the neighborhood and stuff, and they're like, yeah, this place in the wintertime is kind of dead, but in the summertime, it's going to be crazy because I do live like in C Money. If you're from Jersey, you'll kind of get the reference. I live in Lawrence Harbor, right? So I'm like probably 20 minutes from Keensburg. I'm like 30 minutes from a Long Branch. So around here in the summertime, it's jumping out here. Like to the point where my family gatherings with my family in this house will be in the summer. Barbecues and all the other shit. Gonna be jumping out here. I can't wait. Outside of that, do I hate the fact that my commute to work is a little longer now? Yes. It is what it is. Like today, I did overtime at work. I went in at 4 in the morning. I clocked in. I didn't leave till like 2 p.m. Right. So, and it rained. So just the traffic I had to eat today was like, ugh. But here we are. Okay. That being said, look, I know I didn't do a Steve's Kitchen yesterday. I apologize for that. Had a lot of shit going on. Okay. Wait till the summer. You're going to have a good time. I believe it. Mom and Pa have been calling my name for a while now. Oh, I can't wait. But that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Much love to all of you. I know I had a little technical issue there with my microphone. It is what it is. My apologies. I just, it happens. I thought my earphones were old until I went to car and realized, okay. But that being said, guys, much love to all of you. If you've not checked out the post show to Survivor Series where we crapped on the show, go give that a watch whenever you get a chance. I'm still looking for missing. I'm still looking for Epic, by the way. If you find them, let me know. All right. It's going to be LA Knight versus Gunther this Friday on SmackDown. Also on January 5th, it will be Bron Breakker and CM Punk going at it. Make sure you guys tune in on Thursday for another edition of Something About Dynamite. I'm trying to call it that now. I know I used to call it Sad, but I'm trying to change things up here, okay? We're going to call it Something About Dynamite, the proper name here, okay? But that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sticking around despite the audio issues. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome as always. Those of you who fuck with us, we appreciate y'all. All right. Much love to all of you. For myself,
And for the gang, this has been the Raw Rundown. Technical issues and all, but here we are. See you guys Thursday for something about Dynamite here on the Around the Point Network. Thank you, man. Thank you, C Money. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother. Peace.